Hi guys! The van's in the garage, so I'm in a little bit of a different setup today, but this one is a yoga for when you've finished work. So helping you transition from your busy work day, letting go of whatever was going on for you today, helping you transition into the rest of your evening or day with a clear mind and a refreshed body. So let's get started. So we're going to start this one standing, and you might want to move yourself so you're facing the long side of the mat. So take a second to adjust if you need to. And then from here, we're just going to start to rock our weight around the feet. And while we do this, maybe just acknowledging what kind of day you've had, checking in with yourself, how you're feeling, what your energy levels are like. Just taking a second to reflect on your day. And each time you come back to this practice, you'll feel a little bit different. So it's going to affect your practice, what you get out of it, how much you want to do. So just taking this time right at the beginning to just see what you need out of this practice today. Good, and then we're going to start to shift our awareness down into the body. So coming out of the mind, sending your awareness and your attention all the way down into your feet. Just starting to notice the sensations in the feet as you shift your weight around. Good, and you can start to maybe rock backwards and forwards a little bit more. So you're coming onto the balls of the feet and then rocking into the heels. Good, maybe lifting the toes, stretching them out a little bit. Good. And maybe taking it all the way up onto tiptoes, seeing if you can find your balance. Good, and then we'll come back to standing. From here we're going to sweep the arms all the way up, looking up in between the hands, and then arms are coming back down, dropping the head down. We're going to see if we can sync up with the breath here, inhaling as the arms come up, exhaling as the arms and the head drop down. Take a few more like this, just moving at your own pace. And feel free to stay with this one, or if you want a little bit more here, on your way down you can come all the way to a forward fold, letting the head drop down and inhaling, rolling back up, sweeping the arms high, exhaling all the way down. If going all the way down is making you feel a little bit dizzy or lightheaded, don't worry about it, just stay with the arms. Good, just taking a couple more with whatever option you're doing. Seeing if you can really make the breath last for as long as the movement. So slowing the breath down a little bit here, maybe breathing a little bit deeper. Good, and then the next time the arms are lifted, staying there, we're going to take hold of the left wrist, reach over towards the right. Maybe staying here, or you can take your left foot, cross it behind the right, bring a little bit more into the stretch. Good, from here we're going to let go of the hands, take a big wide step coming into goddess pose. So the toes are turned out a little bit, bending the knees, cactusing the arms here, reaching the elbows and the backs of the hands back, opening up through the chest. Good, we're going to move with the breath here too. So inhaling, straighten the arms, straighten the legs. Exhale to sink back down. Two more, inhaling up. Exhale. Good. Inhaling. Exhale. Good. Inhale, come back to standing. Drop the hands down. We're going to turn the feet so they're facing forwards and then come to a forward fold. You can keep the hands on the hips if that feels best for you, or you can let the arms hang down towards the ground. Just letting the weight of the head go here as well. And you can take your feet a little bit wider or bring them a bit closer together. Just find what feels good for you. Maybe moving the head around a little bit here. Just feeling the weight of the head pulling down towards the ground. Good, and then we're going to start to shift the hips from side to side. So maybe propping yourself up on your fingertips and then bending into one knee and then over to the other side. If you can't reach the floor here, that's fine. Just stay up with the hands on your hips, still just bending from one side to the other. Good. And then from here, we're going to bend into the right knee, bring ourselves round. So you've got your right foot forwards, dropping the back knee down. From here, we're going to start to shift the hips back, straighten out through that front leg, and then come back towards our low lunge. Syncing up with the breath here as well. Just inhaling one way, exhaling the other. It doesn't matter too much which way round you go. And if it feels nicer to stay in one of these positions for longer, then feel free to hang out there for a little while, and then you can shift to the next one when you're ready. Good. Take one more each way, and then we'll come back to our low lunge position and meet there. From here, our left hand's going to stay on the floor, reaching the right hand up, coming into a twist. You're welcome to tuck the back toes under and lift that back knee up if that feels good for you. Good, and then dropping the back knee if it's lifted and that lifted hand. And then from here, we're going to come to a bit of a lizard variation. So bringing the right hand just to the inside of the right knee, and then start to press the knee away. I'll shift around a little bit so you can see, but you can stay as you are. Just pressing the knee away with the hand, opening up with the chest. You can rock out onto the outside edge of the right foot, and feel free to walk that foot away from you a little bit more as well if you need to. Good. Coming out of this one, coming back to your low lunge, lift the chest here, look forwards, sinking into the hips a little bit more if you can. And then we'll plant the hands, step it back for downward dog. Maybe pedaling out through the feet here. Pressing into the hands as if you're trying to press the ground away from you. Reaching the tailbone high. Good, and then from here we're going to slowly start to walk the feet up towards the hands, maybe crisscrossing the feet up along the mat, coming to a forward fold, letting the arms and the head just hang down towards the ground, maybe swaying from side to side. Good, and then coming back to center, we're going to bend the knees generously and start to roll up through the spine, pressing the hips forwards as you roll up. Good, coming back to standing. Take a moment here just to pause, notice what's going on in the body. Noticing the rhythm of your breath. Good, and then we'll do the same on the other side as well. So when you're ready, we'll inhale, sweeping the arms up. This time taking hold of the right wrist, leaning over towards the left. And then you're welcome to take that right foot behind, adding a little bit more to the stretch. Good, from here, opening out to goddess. So nice big wide stance, sinking into the hips. And just notice here, if you're really curved through the lower back, see if you can tuck the tailbone under just a little bit. And while we're here, pressing the knees backwards. So you're kind of pressing into the outside edges of the feet to move the knees back. Good, pausing here, feeling strong through the legs. And then we'll start to move with the breath. So inhaling, reaching up. Exhale to sink down. Inhale. Exhale, see if you can sink a little bit lower. Good, inhaling. Exhale, this time we're going to hold for a few breaths, feeling strong. If it's too much with the arms lifted, just bring them down to your hips. And again, keep pressing the knees back. Good, one more inhale, exhale here. And then straightening out through the legs, turning the feet forwards so they're parallel to the short edges of the mat, coming to your forward fold. Good, again, just letting everything hang down, maybe shaking the head a little bit. And feel free to adjust the feet as you need to, taking them wider or closer together. And if the hands are down, we'll just prop ourselves up onto the fingertips. If the hands aren't down, just bring them to the hips and we'll bend into either side. If you feel like you want a little bit more here, you can drop the hips lower, coming to this kind of Skandasana position, rocking from side to side. But if that feels like too much, just keep it quite high. Good, take one more to each side. And then we'll make our way round, this time with the left leg in front, dropping the back knee down once you're there, finding your low lunge position, and then we'll start to move with the breath. Dropping the hips back, straightening out through that front leg, and then coming back to your low lunge. Good, see if you can keep the chest lifted as you move here. Trying to keep that length through the spine. Good, we'll take one more each way and then meet back in the low lunge. From here, right hand stays down, left arm lifts up. Feel free to tuck the back toes under and lift that back knee up. Good, and then dropping the hand and the knee if it's lifted, finding that lizard variation. So maybe walking the left foot away from you a little bit, rolling onto the outside edge, pressing the knee away. Good, and then making your way back to your low lunge. We'll plant the hands here, step it back to downward dog. Maybe finding stillness, or if it's still feeling nice to pedal out through the feet, feel free to stay with that. But just notice what's going on in the hands. See if you're dumping all your weight into your wrists. Maybe see if we can start to spread that weight more evenly through the hands, so pressing down into the knuckles and into the fingertips. Good, one more inhale and exhale here. And then we'll drop the knees down and come into all fours. You can take the knees wide, big toes together, send the hips back for child's pose. If child's pose doesn't feel good for you, you can come onto your back and just hug the knees in towards the chest. We'll just take a few breaths here, seeing if you can let the body sink down into the ground. Finding those places where you can soften and relax, unclenching the jaw, letting the head rest down into the ground. And whenever you're ready, coming back up onto all fours, bringing knees underneath hips, wrists underneath shoulders. We'll take some cat-cows here. So inhaling to drop the belly, lift the chest, look forwards. Exhale to round through the spine, head drops down. Just moving with your own breath. Really seeing if you can make the movement last for as long as the inhale and as long as the exhale. And then making your way back to center, we're going to extend the right leg out behind us and then exhale to bring the knee towards the chest. Inhale, extend the leg away. Exhale, knee towards the chest. Just carrying on with this. If you want a little bit more, you can extend the left arm and then you're bringing elbow and knee towards each other. Inhale to extend. Good, one more. And then we're going to extend the leg, but drop the hand if it's lifted. We're going to take the right leg all the way over towards the left, and then turn to look towards that foot. So turning the upper body round towards the left, looking towards the right foot. Good, from here that right foot's coming all the way out towards the right. And then we're going to take some cat-cows through the spine here. And feel free to adjust that right foot a little bit. I like to have mine facing forwards, but it might feel better to turn it out slightly. So just see what works for you. Good. And then from here, we're going to walk the hands up towards us and come up onto that left knee, reaching up and over with the left hand. And again, you can adjust that right foot if you need to. I quite like to have my toes pointing up towards the ceiling here. Good. Making your way all the way back down to all fours. We'll take all of those on the other side. So we'll start with some cat-cows. Syncing up with the breath once again. Good. And then when you're ready, left leg lifts up. And maybe just working here, exhaling, knee comes towards the chest. Inhale to extend. If you want a little bit more, bring the right arm into it. Bring elbow and knee towards each other. Keep breathing here. Good, we'll take one more. And then leg stays lifted but hand comes back down. Bring that left foot towards the right and then turn to look towards the foot. Good, left foot comes all the way out towards the left. Taking some cat-cows here. Good, and then coming back to neutral spine, walking the hands towards the knee, coming all the way up and then reaching up and over for gate pose. Again, just adjusting that left foot if you want to. Good, and then coming back to all fours. From here, taking a child's pose again, and again, if that doesn't work for you, feel free to come onto your back and hug the knees in instead. And then from here, we're going to slowly make our way onto our front. So coming all the way down. And then we're going to lift ourselves up just a little bit with the right hand. Slide the left arm underneath, so your left shoulder's on the ground. From here, our right knee is going to come out to the side. And then reaching out with the top arm, your right arm, it's going to come all the way up and over. Coming into a twist here. Feel free to turn the head towards the right if that feels comfortable. Maybe closing the eyes down. Finding those places where you can soften, relaxing through the waist and the hips. If it feels like too much, just with this top leg bent, feel free to bend the bottom knee as well. Maybe seeing if you can start to slow the breath down. Good, and then we're going to come out the way that we came in. So right arm's going to come over to meet the left, and then make your way back onto your front. So take it straight to the other side, but if you feel like you need a second, feel free to just pause in the middle here. But when you're ready, right arm is going to come underneath, left knee comes out to the side, and then you're opening up and over with the left hand. Finding your twist here. Again, closing the eyes or softening the gaze. Just turning the attention inwards. Noticing the rhythm of your breath. And see if there's any places here where you can soften and relax. We'll take one more breath here, and then making your way out of this one, bring the left arm to meet the right, moving back onto your front. We'll just take a second here, maybe making a pillow with the arms. Maybe feeling the belly pressing into the ground as you breathe in. And then slowly we'll make our way back onto our backs. And then I've got a few options for you here. We're either going to come straight to a traditional Shavasana, so extending the legs and the arms out. Just finding a place on your back where you're comfortable. If you prefer, you can come to Supta Baddha Konasana, so reclined cobbler's pose, feet together, knees out to either side. Or, my personal favourite, we're going to come to legs up the wall. So, as the name says, you can either come to a wall and put your legs up. If you don't have a wall available, you can use a sofa, a bed, kind of anything where you can just let your legs come and rest. You're just looking to have the feet above the heart. So whichever option you're coming to, take the time to get yourself nice and comfortable, maybe putting pillow or towel or blanket under the head, shuffling the shoulder blades underneath you, letting the muscles soften down into the ground. We're just going to spend a minute or two here, giving ourselves this time to pause, to relax. We're really not trying to achieve anything here other than just giving ourselves this time to rest. Let's take one final scan through the body. Just finding those last little places that you can soften, unclenching the jaw, relaxing the muscles around the neck and the shoulders, letting the hips relax down into the ground. Letting the breath become soft. Maybe just noticing the gentle rise and fall of the belly or the chest. And if you have the time, feel free to stay here for as long as you want to. I'll leave you here. So well done for taking the time for yourself to do this practice with me today. Have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you again soon.